you are statistically more likely to sabotage your own success than to keep it. If you are the first person in your family trying to build real wealth, the numbers are not on your side. Studies on first-generation wealth builders show something disturbing. Most of them quietly destroy what they build, not through bad luck, not through bad investments, through something far more invisible. There is a ceiling above your head right now. You cannot see it, but every time you get close to it, something inside you pulls you back down. A bad decision, a sudden purchase, a relationship that drains you, a business move that makes no sense. You blame yourself. You call it self-sabotage. You promise to do better next time. But it is not self-sabotage. It is something much older than you. Tonight, we are going to name it, and once you can see it, you can finally fight it. There is a term for what happens to people who try to escape the financial class they were born into. Researchers call it class migration trauma. When you grow up in a household where money is scarce, your brain develops a specific operating system. That system is built for survival, not for growth. It learns to spend money the moment it appears, because money never lasts. It learns to distrust opportunities, because opportunities usually have hidden costs. It learns to feel guilty about having more than the people you love. This operating system kept your family alive. It is the reason you exist, but it is also the exact thing that will destroy you the moment you try to build wealth. Here's what nobody tells you. Your brain does not actually want you to be rich. Your brain wants you to be safe, and to your brain, safe means staying close to what is familiar. The income level you grew up around, the lifestyle you grew up around, the amount of money in a bank account that feels normal. The moment you cross that invisible line, your brain starts pulling you back, quietly, invisibly, through decisions that feel like your own. But it gets worse, because the people around you have the same operating system. There is a phenomenon documented in psychology research called the crab bucket effect. When you put a single crab in a bucket, it will climb out, but when you put many crabs in a bucket, none of them escape. Every time one crab tries to climb, the others pull it back down, not out of malice, out of confusion, out of fear of being left behind. Your family is not malicious, your friends are not malicious, but the moment you start to rise, something in them activates. They make jokes about you forgetting where you came from. They ask you for loans. They call you greedy. They get strangely cold when you talk about your goals. They tell you that your new path is risky, that you should be grateful for what you already have, that money changes people. And here's the cruelest part. They are not wrong. Money does change people. It changes them because it forces them to confront a question their family never had the luxury to ask. The question is this: who am I if I am not struggling?
For most first-generation wealth builders, struggle is not just a condition. It is an identity. It is the story they tell themselves about who they are: the hard worker, the fighter, the one who came from nothing. And the moment they start to actually have something, that identity starts to dissolve. And the human brain will do almost anything to protect its identity, even destroy the thing that threatens it. This is why so many first-generation millionaires end up broke within a decade. It is not bad financial planning. It is identity collapse. Now let me ask you something directly. Have you ever made more money than usual and then watched yourself spend it on something stupid within days? Not because you needed it, not because you planned it, but because something inside you could not handle the unfamiliarity of having extra. If that has happened to you, drop a 1 in the comments. I want to know how many people are silently dealing with this. Because here's the truth. You are not broken. You are running software your ancestors installed for an environment that no longer exists. Your grandparents needed to spend money fast because saving it meant losing it to inflation, to relatives, to emergencies, to a system that was rigged against them. Your parents needed to distrust opportunities because most opportunities offered to people in their position were scams. Their fear was rational. Their instincts kept them alive. But you are no longer in that environment. The rules have changed, and the operating system that saved them is now the exact thing killing you. There is more, because there is a second invisible force working against you, and almost nobody talks about it. It is called the financial silence inheritance. In families that have never had wealth, money is rarely discussed, or when it is discussed with shame, anxiety, or anger. You did not grow up watching your parents read balance sheets at the dinner table. You did not grow up hearing about index funds, tax strategies, business structures, or compound interest. You grew up hearing about bills, about what could not be afforded, about who owed who money. This means by the time you reach adulthood, you are missing somewhere between 15 and 20 years of financial literacy that wealthier families pass down silently, like a second language. You are not behind because you are lazy. You are behind because nobody taught you the language. And worse, every time you try to learn it, you feel a strange resistance, a fog, a sense that this is not for you. That sense is not random. It is the operating system protecting itself.
So here is what actually works. Here is the way out. The first thing you have to do is name the ceiling. The moment you can identify the invisible script running in your head, it starts losing power. When you feel the urge to spend money you just earned, pause and ask yourself one question. Is this me, or is this the program? That single question creates a millimeter of distance between you and the impulse, and a millimeter is all you need. The second thing is harder. You have to expect the pullback. When you start to rise, the people around you will react. Some will support you, many will not. This is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are doing something different. Plan for it emotionally before it happens so it does not blindside you when it does. The third thing is the hardest of all. You have to build a new identity before the old one collapses. You cannot simply stop being the struggling one. You have to become someone else first. Someone who reads about money even when it feels foreign. Someone who has financial conversations even when they feel awkward. Someone who can hold a larger bank account without immediately needing to spend it down to a familiar level. This takes time. It takes years. But every day you do it, the ceiling rises a little. And the fourth thing, find one person who is already where you want to be. Not a guru, not an influencer, a real human being whose presence in your life forces your brain to update its model of what is normal. Because your brain decides what is possible based on what it has seen with its own eyes. If everyone around you struggles, struggle feels like the ceiling. If you know even one person who broke through, the ceiling cracks. Here's the part nobody will say out loud. Becoming the first wealthy person in your family is not just a financial act, it is a psychological one. You are not just trying to make money, you are trying to overwrite generations of programming that were installed before you were born. That is why it is so hard. That is why so many people fail. And that is also why, if you do it, it changes everything for everyone who comes after you. Your kids will not have this ceiling. Your grandchildren will not even know it existed. The pain you feel right now, the confusion, the guilt, the strange resistance to your own success, that is the cost of being the one who breaks the cycle. Someone has to be first. And the reason it feels so heavy is because no one in your bloodline has ever carried this weight before. You are not failing. You are translating from a language built for survival into a language built for freedom. And translation is slow, but it works. If this is the first wealth theory video you've seen, we break down one hidden financial mechanism every week, the psychology that's quietly draining you. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.